Hello, viewers, and welcome to the GI Huddle. I'm with John, CEO of ISX Financial. John, thanks very much for joining us.
Thank you. It's a pleasure to be here today, Tim.
Looking forward to speaking to you about all things gaming and payments. To start off with a broad question, can you tell us about the company and where you kind of sit in the market right now?
Sure. So ISX Financial, we're a public company with operations basically across all of Europe and the UK, and shortly to follow into North America. We're what I would term a full-service EMI. So we're actually an account issuing AMI as well as card processing, card issuing, and we do all the interconnectivity of payment systems into those accounts that we issue to our customers.
Mm-hmm. Can you walk us through? I mean, you've given us an overview there. Can you walk us through your key products and with various trade shows coming up through the year? I guess the products that at these shows you'd be really those your lead kind of items.
Sure. So what we predominantly offer the gaming industry are our electronic money accounts, and they're pretty much based around, let's call them both the Maltese, client segregated accounts that Maltese Gaming Authority needs, as well as consumer accounts or corporate accounts. We interconnect that with SEPA Instant and SEPA CT. In fact, we're one of the largest processors of SEPA Instant in the EA at the moment, and we've had to tailor our own core banking system in order to sort of accommodate the volumes that some of the gamers give us in peak times. And that peak flow is really something that we see has been a cause of angst with the gamers with other providers. But certainly we've managed to deliver a service consistently around being able to cope with almost any peak flow. But other products we offer, of course, is card acquiring, in the conventional sense. But we also have Swift products, for back office and treasury type movements. We also have mass payouts. The mass payouts, along the lines of your Visa Direct, your MasterCard Send, as well as cross-border into areas like Japan and India. So, we do solve a lot of those sort of very niche needs that gamers tend to have in terms of getting their money back to their customer, which can often be quite difficult. One of the other initiatives that we brought forward is our Flick electronic money service. And Flick is really all about being able to service the gaming industry, or at least this aspect of Flick, in a better way, particularly considering all the sort of new regulatory requirements coming in, such as Lugus in Germany and so on, and the ability or the requirement for customers to use debit products only in many jurisdictions, to verify that they're a debit product, to verify there's no third-party payments, and taking away all this sort of angst and the layer of regulatory angst that the gamers may have, and making that a lot easier. So the Flick.it service has also been very much tailored around really the regulated industries of gaming, FX, CFDs, brokerage, and so on, that have got that special requirement away from the teddy bears and ice creams that your PayPal type electronic money account is more focused on.
Mm-hmm. So you mentioned, kind of some of the niche requirements of gamers, gaming payments. A couple of things that are inevitable. Speed. In a lot of industries, speed is useful, but especially when it comes to deposits, withdrawals, that kind of thing. And obviously, you mentioned regulated markets, heavy regulation for gaming companies, payments companies, and both. If we were to look at the wider sort of gaming payments industry, what are the kind of main trends you're seeing in 2023? Because obviously we're early into the year, but what are the real, I guess, pain points, but also the new innovations that we'll be seeing for the sector wide?
Well, I think open banking should get the Guernsey here straight away. Mm-hmm. So we're seeing a huge influx as an open banking provider. So we're also a PISP. And what sets us apart from what we term the push and pray providers. So there's a number of providers out there that push and pray it ends up somewhere. We actually end up with the receiving account, and we've put a notification system on that. So we effectively have created a alternative set of rails to the Visa and MasterCard using the debit rails of central banks and open banking. So we throw up a menu as part of the cashier, and that menu may be either the Flick wallet, or it may be card acquiring, or it may be open banking. And the open banking initiation that we provide goes straight to an IBAN or a sort account that we've issued to the gamer, and we notify them via our API of funds actually coming in or out of that account instantly. Now, why is this a big deal or a big innovation or whatever? It's bringing together a lot of complex technologies of open banking, KYC, core banking, central banking, and notifications, which to date no one else has done. Now, this solves a number of problems for our gaming customers. In particular, as we said, initiating a payment off debit rails, that's a big pain point. We're seeing declines. Obviously, declines have been increasing off the card schemes for many years, previously, but that's starting to accelerate now. The card schemes are getting more and more stringent in terms of what the source of funds are, where they've been originated, is it a debit rail or is it coming off a debit card or a debit facility or not? And open banking removes that pain point. So we see that open banking is a really good solution for gamers to start adding into their cashier sort of offerings.
Mm-hmm. I mean, I had planned to bring up open banking later on, but let's sort of get more into it, seeing as you've thrown it out there. You very much believe it's the future of the industry.
Oh, look, absolutely. I mean, what we're seeing, and we know as a principle of the card schemes, the rules around 7995, and high risk processing and everything else, is just becoming more and more stringent. It's crystal clear that the card schemes led by Visa have absolutely no interest or no desire to continue in this market beyond what they have to. Mm-hmm. Now, the advantage that we have engineering our own product, let's say, both from a regulatory and technological aspect, is that we are able to provide a product that suits the industry in accordance with the industry's regulations, not an artificial set of rules that someone in the US has developed, completely absent of any input from the industry itself. So we take input from all of our customers in terms of what they want to see and how we develop the product. And one of the key things that we deliver to our product, aside from a high acceptance and authorization rate, because the customer is willingly pushing out of their account, using open banking, but it's also the fact that our customers are getting settlement within 15 seconds into an IBAN. So the CFO of a gaming company that's banking, or I'll use the term banking with us in terms of the open banking context, a CFO that's taking services from us is getting their money within 15 seconds, and they're getting notified of it within that 15-second bracket as well. So not only when the money's leaving the account, but also when it lands in the gamer's account. Right? Now that's a big deal for anyone that's managing cash flow and wanting to manage their operation in general. So you've no longer got that sort of drawn out period that the card schemes impose. We also don't have the angst around a rolling reserve, which are imposed by many high risk processors, and we also don't have the angst around security because again it's debit, not credit, right? And all of that creates a different regulatory regime upon which we operate and can then pass back to our customers, creating let's say a more commercial environment around open banking, providing that you get that entire ecosystem. Now, I think where we sort of differ on that, and I do really need to sort of stress this point. There's a lot of operators out there that will do that, what we jokingly call the push and pray, because you're never sure where the money is going to the right place. But we handle all of that cycle from initiation at the cart level, the cashier, right the way through to making sure the transaction set up. The customer only has a single basic interface to go through to point and click, typically using a biometric off their mobile phone, like a face biometric or whatever. Money sent, we receive the money and we tell our gamer that it's there, and all of that's done within seconds. So, so that's a massive difference to the card cycle.
Yeah. So you mentioned the 15-second figure, and you're talking about CFOs of major companies. Even friends talking to me on the weekend were saying I haven't received my withdrawals from a certain operator, and they're saying it's too long. So what are the biggest challenges for a company like yours when really that speed is so important? What are the kind of things that can be roadblocks, and how do you overcome them?
Look, and let's talk about payouts from the. I mean, with our mass pay system, we've got a number of game organisations that are using our batch system to basically mass pay out to their customers. We can deliver, provided the customer is on a separate instant capable bank. We can get that money back to them within 15 seconds, depending upon whether we're using our own Flick service as well. We give our gambling customers or our gaming customers the opportunity to deposit back into the Flick account. Now, the advantage to that is it's all me to me. Everything is me to me because we're managing the KYC of the end customer and taking all that pain out. So I think by bringing us into the loop and bringing part of our solutions into the loop, we are removing those pain points and making sure that it's happening. Now, by also integrating our cross-border remittance into India and Brazil and places like Japan, we're removing that sort of, those fringe cases where a lot of our customers have some Japanese customers and some Indian customers and so on. We're able to get those monies back to them as well, which has really been a pretty difficult sort of proposition to date. And MasterCard Send and Visa Direct make up the sort of difference in terms of pushing money back to a card on a me-to-me basis as well.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So those solutions are in place, and we just keep expanding on them and rolling them out.
Sure. I mean, sounds good. And I wanted to sort of maybe a final topic I wanted to talk about going forward. So obviously you've mentioned kind of the key products, the key pain points you're looking to solve. As I said, at the start of 2023, what's kind of new in the pipeline for you guys? Have you got any new products and projects that we can look forward to, or the industry can look forward to from you?
Yeah, so one of the initiatives we're putting forward, or one of the new products, I should say, so we've got card issuing on about to commence probably in about 2-3 months' time. We're partners with Diners Discover on that for a couple of reasons. One, we want to start looking at co-branding the card with partners, and we've got a number of partners that are interested in co-branding the card. But that card will be linked to the Flick ecosystem, so it'll be linked to all the SWIFTs, the SEPAs, the FPSs, all the, let's say, the 5,000 banks that are connected to us here in Europe and the UK, as well as 11,000 banks on SWIFT, as well as all the ATMs and POS. Now, one of the things that we can add to make it different by using the Diners Discover card is that, and I'm not sure if you remember the Diners program, but there used to be the two premium programs of Diners and Amex. Right now, everyone had a box standard Visa card or a box standard MasterCard, which are a little bit meh. They're pretty boring sort of products. But with Diners comes all the travel, the concierge, all the premium products that you typically only get associated with an Amex at the moment. Now, we also note that the Diners card, we've been working hard with Diners to get it accepted more in Europe. More POSs are now accepting it than before. We notice also that we've got a number of independent ATMs accepting it. So, for example, the Euro ATM network now accepts Diners Discover. So cash is available at the POS, at the ATM. Sorry. So by partnering very heavily with Diners, we're putting a premium card out there to market that isn't a prepaid card like many of our competitors, but actually a full debit card with KYC attached. So what that means is it hasn't got the artificial limits. It hasn't got the impositions, and it's less likely to be subject to stop orders from regulators like the FCA and the CBI, Central Bank of Ireland, who put stop orders in terms of a number of high-flying, prepaid card programs that have been co-branded because of the KYC issues. So by going in and making sure that, again, we solve that pain point of identifying the customer to a bank level, we take that issue away from the gamers and can provide that service back. Of course, with the partnership program, we'll be discussing what we can give back to the gamers as well to partner with us and make sure that it really is a mutually beneficial commercial arrangement.
Mm-hmm. So, plenty in the pipeline. I'm gonna hit you with a last sort of quick fire question. If we were to sit at this time next year, if you look back at, say, the perfect year in gambling for ISX Financial in this industry, what would be the ideal sort of outcome and goals for you?
Oh, look, I think for us, a higher adoption of open banking. We really are looking at that as being a key solution for the industry, as well as for ourselves, for our business. I think as we continue to improve the open banking, or as we call it, paid by bank, we've just launched a new website, paidbybank.com. But open banking, I think, is the future of the industry, as well as where our revenues will be starting to driven. And of course, with our revenues increasing, it means that we're providing a better service, or at least a compelling service to our customers, and we're helping them to drive their revenues forward as well.
Mm-hmm. Well, John, thank you very much for your time. Good luck with certainly with the progress and open banking and everything else at ISX Financial.
Thank you very much, Tim, and thank you for your time as well. Appreciate it.
Thank you.